What's going on, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the Boiler Room Pre-Market Watch List. So this morning, it does look like we have a few good plays. Definitely interested in today's trading. So good morning to everybody. Hopefully you had a good weekend and happy Monday to you. Yeah, that basically covers it. Definitely going to have some good stuff coming on. Yeah, Robert. So I started getting in some of the videos on the level 2 portion of the course, and there's definitely more coming. It's just such a complicated topic. It is not the easiest thing to teach, so I'm definitely taking my time with it. But yeah. And that being said, let's get going on it. Let's get going. So definitely got a few good stocks here to watch. 1 second. All right, here we go. Get this out of the way. What are we on? PXS. So I do believe that we're going to see. So first, I'll start here with RIOT before we get to that one. So here we go. Why is everything all weird looking on my screen? The way. One that I'm watching heavily is RIOT. Okay, we can see that it consolidated here at about $17. So RIOT consolidated here pre-market around 17.50, broke out, is now up to a high of $20. First thing we need to do is check to see if it has news this morning. There is a bunch of news on it this morning, and that's what's driving the price up. Blockchain reports test pay unit signed letter of internet of intent for merger with publicly traded something. So there is good news that's driving this price up. So we should definitely keep this on watch. Another thing to note is that on this chart here, right, after its initial big boom to 24, so it had a high of 24 up here, it came down, went back up, came down again, and now it's moving back up, and now it's at a high of about 20. If you notice, this has a higher low confirmation from here to here, and then it broke out of that area of 1750. So that's kind of what it did, right? This was where we were at 1750 pre-market, and then it broke out. So ideally, this had a nice little pattern that was forming to break out on RIOT. Sean, glad to have you here, brother. Glad to have you here. Good morning from New York. Good morning from New York. So again, RIOT is on the watch here this morning. All right. And let me clear out these drawings. So what I'm getting at here is this thing had a big boom up to 24. We know that. And then it came down, put in its, low after the big move up, popped back up, and then it put in a higher low. So now we have a higher low confirmation that we are uptrending, and then we just spiked. Now, is it going to hold up at $19, $20? We have a huge resistance here at 20. So what's going to happen here pre-market is this is most likely going to pull back some, which it's already starting to do. So I imagine we're probably going to pull back as we're starting to do here, drop out, and then we might come back up to retest 20. So the game plan here for this is that I want to see RIOT head back up to $20. We want to see if it can break out of $20 for a potential long, but we don't want to take the long over 20 unless we have some good pullbacks and we're starting to inch up there, kind of like this. You see how it just consolidated, didn't really go much lower. So that's what we're kind of trying, hopefully, that will happen here as we trend back up. And here's the deal. If it doesn't break out of 20, it will most likely start coming down. So it might be a good idea to suggest RIOT for a short play if, in fact, the price does come back up to retest $19.84 or $20. And if it rejects this price and can't break, we could look to open up a short position. And then we can look to cover some of those short positions at every 50-cent mark. So like here at 19.50, then 19, et cetera, okay? These bigger price stocks are going to move in, 50-cent moves, dollar moves, okay? So ideally, maybe a long over 20 on RIOT. It's up a lot, so you can be sure that there are probably going to be some profit takers on there at the gate. Could be looking to short out of the gates. Next one we'll take a look is at CHFS. CHFS now, or is this yeah? So this is CHFS. If we look at the daily chart here, right? If you look at this daily chart, a lot of times after stocks spike like this, you'll see that they have these little baby spikes, right? It's like a little reclaim spike. This one really, after this big initial spike from CHFS, we really have, you know, we haven't really had that little spike. We're starting to show signs of a green day here at the bottom where we popped up to a high of like $4, $4.50. So right now, CHFS is just on watch because it's possible that this is going to start spiking today. Now, you can see here it's holding up some support on this 100 moving average. If this holds up and doesn't go lower, it's most likely going to spike, and we could look for maybe a move up to 440, up to 450. Okay, so definitely keeping CHFS on watch for a short. So right now it has yet to put in a lower high. It's just downtrending, and it hasn't really popped up and put in a lower high. So if this continues to hold support, we might in fact see it pop and spike. If it starts breaking down below like this 100 moving average, so if it can break down below this 100 moving average, I'll be looking to maybe open up a short position in hopes that it reaches down to 350. Okay. Again, this thing's up pretty big. I don't think there's any news for it being up. There is no news. There's no news that drove this price up. So this could very easily just dump out. Okay. So definitely keep this on watch for a spike today and for a short position below like $3.90. DPW is next on the watch list here. DPW, we've all kind of been watching this one. The range on this stock is really good. There's usually a lot of plays and opportunity on this stock. Again, it's quite simple, right? Look at the stock pre-market. It's trending higher. And based on what this stock has done in previous days where it spikes up and it comes down, it spikes up, I think it's very possible we can see DPW spike up to $4 because you can see here on this day, it kind of had some resistance there at $4. So I think it's very possible we can see DPW push up to the $4 mark here today, maybe even higher. If it doesn't do that, I think it's going to have a pretty choppy day. Do I think it's going to be more of a short? As of right now, no. I think it's more of a long position up to maybe $4 a share. So definitely going to be interested in watching DPW for a long here today, with the potential up to maybe even $4. Lastly here, I'm looking at PXS. There's something that's telling me that PXS is going to have a really good day. It was down at, 372, spiked up to like 6, came down, was short sold, then had a short squeeze before the end of the day. And now it's just kind of hanging out. This chart doesn't look really good, but neither did it here before it had a massive spike. So if you want my honest opinion, I'm just saying watch PXS. Just watch it for a potential big boom, big spike today. If it doesn't spike up, it'll probably be trading on very low volume. And it will probably be, if it doesn't break this downward trend line here, it's probably going to be a short play. But really what I'm getting at is just to watch PXS for the possibility of a very big day, because we've seen it do it before. We've seen it do it multiple times, and it's not far-fetched to think that this won't happen. So again, PXS is just on the watch list for a morning spike, a big one, hopefully. Now, I'll take a look at TEUM because I know some people were asking about that. TEUM is right now kind of uptrending just a little bit. You can see it had a huge red day there, but it's continuously kind of going a little higher. It's a very low volume stock. It's trading on very low volume. When they're trading on such low volume like this, there's really nothing that you can project. And if you look at this perfectly, it's following that downtrend resistance perfectly. So we have a high of 95 here, pre-market high here, right here, here. It's following that trend line down. So I'd be very surprised to see if this goes any higher. It might honestly push up today a little bit, but I would honestly look to maybe even get out because it's just not worth being in that stock when it's so risky and such light volume. there's a high probability that it's probably going to continue down. It is a penny stock. It's not a good stock. It's nothing to really invest in. So be very cautious with that one and maybe look to start taking some profit off the table, etc. That's really all I had on my watch list this morning. Might be watching XNET for a long. The reason I'm doing that is it was at a high of 18 and now it's just downtrending and lost a lot of value and kind of bottomed out here at 1181, which is, I believe, one of the moving averages. Yeah, so look at, right? The reason I would consider taking this for a long, look at the last time XNET hit a high of 127, it came down, it bounced on that 50 moving average. It had a retracement and now it's bouncing on that or holding support on that 50 moving average. So I think there's strong chance we'll see XNET have a green day. So definitely watch XNET for potential long as well. Let me see, ANTH. So definitely keep XNET on watch for long. ANTH looks pretty dead. It's probably going to dump out. Wouldn't really mess with that. That's a clear pump up and it just dumps out, not holding its highs. Chances are it's not going to be very, very good. Okay. XXII trades on very light volume. Again, it's not bad. It just trades on I don't want to say light volume. Actually, it's pretty heavy volume, but it's a bigger float stock, which there's nothing really wrong about. You can keep it on watch for a long. As of right now, it's more bullish than it is bearish. You can see that it had this uptrend here. Right here, it had this uptrend, and it had a big green day. So for it to have another big green day is going to be less likely than to see maybe a red day. I think the probability of seeing a red day is more likely than it is a big green day, but you can still watch it because now that it's put in this like kind of confirmation of an uptrend, right? Because you can see this, right? You got a confirmation of an uptrend. If it starts pulling back, you can wait till it gets maybe down to this trend line right here, and then you can justify taking a long. Because if this continues to follow this pattern, then it should bounce around this trend line and then push back up push up a little bit higher. So again, in whether or not maybe there are catalysts and maybe there's news coming and that's something to follow. I don't project, I just play. So if there's a stock that's moving today or, maybe it's tomorrow, then I look for the catalyst. I don't pay attention to upcoming news on stocks because, a lot of times it doesn't really do anything. Sure, you might be able to get some good winners here and there, but for me, the best way to do it is just to find the stocks that are already moving and judge the movements based on the news that they've already received. And that's the way I go about my trading. So that's all I got for you. So definitely watch PXS, CHFS, DPW, XNET, and RIOT. Those are the main stocks that I will be watching here today. Also, so for those of you watching, if you haven't already joined the course and you want to give it a try, I am doing a holiday special, I guess you could call it, in which I took $10 off the price. So for those of you who maybe were skeptical or didn't necessarily know if you want to try it out, basically, you can try out the first month for $5 if you use the coupon code HOLIDAY10, just all one, HOLIDAY10 at checkout, and you'll receive a first month for $5. If you don't like it, you can always cancel. If you like it, you can continue, and then from there, it will go up to the regular price, which is $15 a month. The link is in the description below, and then also I copy and pasted the coupon code in the description. So if you want to check it out, use that coupon code. It only works if you're just signing up for the first time. So again, coupon codes in the bottom along with the description and everything to the free chat room and the Facebook groups where we do a little bit of a recap and stuff like that. So if you want to give it a test, use the coupon code HOLIDAY10 so that way you're not paying overpriced when you don't have to. So just try it out if you want to. And then I will see you guys all tomorrow morning. Alrighty, take care.